You need him because you need a companion to build a family with, or you're just having these needs right now that if he came and fixed them, you don't need him. I'm also still a baby. What do you mean I'm going to have babies?
I started praying for my person when I was in P4.
He's calling you home for Netflix and chill on the second date, but you don't want that, but because you don't want to chase him away, you're quick to be like, it's okay, let me come. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alexis and I'm back with an exciting video. As you can see by the title, today we are talking everything: relationships, dating, singlehood, marriage. I had to get a married friend so that we dive into all of that. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. I'd like Tracy to introduce herself to you guys.
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Tracy Abola. Recently now I'm Mrs. Muganga, and very excited for this video. We are going to talk about everything about marriage, being single, dating, all those nitty-gritties. And my Instagram is at Mrs. Muganga, same as my TikTok, Mrs. Muganga. Yeah.
Make sure to go and follow her so you can continue this conversation. First of all, this is going to be exciting because I have so many questions for this girl. And don't worry, the singles, she also has questions for me. And yeah, it's going to be very insightful. Me and her know each other from
all the way from high school.
Yeah, Form 5, I think. We went to Nalia together. Tracy is such an amazing person. Yes, we are not so close like how we were in school. But do you know, Tracy, this is not even something I intended to speak on camera, but I've just thought about it. Every small business I've started, this chick would be the first one to buy from me. There's a time I was selling donuts, you remember? I don't know, were they nice?
Yeah, they were.
Really?
But there's some businesses where you would start, then I'm like, oh, actually now I have a plug, and then the next thing. Actually, I used to think about makeup.
That's for me.
Actually, that's how most I relate with it, because I remember I just started makeup. And then I think somewhere in there, I lost it. Yeah. But I remember Alexis asking, where did you learn from? Where did you do this? Where did you do this? The next thing you see, she's out there. She's a makeup artist. People know. And I'm like, I wish I also maybe pushed and kept doing, because I still like it. Yeah. I still want to actually do it. It's something that has not gone out of my mind. Because
you're more creative than I am. I used to play around with eyeshadows. I hated eyeshadow. So I feel like you should consider, you don't have to specifically be a makeup artist. You could start a makeup brand. You can be a makeup artist, do the makeup brand, do something bigger with beauty. I see you do that, and you can really make a lot of money out of it. Remember, we shot a video doing makeup.
Yeah.
And
those pictures are so cringe.
yeah. Ew, I looked so funny. Anyway, I've known her for a very long time, but you're the most supportive person I've known from Nalia. And how has been your dating dynamics before marriage? Have you dated 1,000 men before you found the one?
I would say this is my first love, because in the first place, dating guys, you know how high school campus can be. Yeah. You're looking at guys and you think you actually love them. Yeah. But after a few months of being together, you're like, what am I doing here? You see another handsome one and you're like, no, I think maybe the other one would be better. Yeah. But I don't think I've dated so many guys. Actually, my whole campus, I dated one person. Yeah. But then in there, somehow, my memory tells us, pray for your husband. Yeah. No matter whether you're dating and you feel like, you know what, life is good, this person is the one, you can't be sure. Make sure God is deciding for you.
That's true.
So I prayed, and I'm like, if this is the person, make things move. Take us to the next step. Because we had dated for a very long time. I think 3.5 or 4 years.
Really? Your husband?
Yeah. No, not my husband. The first person.
Oh, because I remember someone.
Yes. So after that, as I said, after praying, things just ended. A lot of things happened within a very short period of 4 months, and things ended. And that time I was like, will I ever find someone who will love me? Am I that beautiful? Am I going to be single forever? Those things.
What do you mean? Do you know I'm not married?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when you've been in a relationship for 4 years.
Oh yeah, 2 years
going back. Going back
crazy.
to not having someone to call every time when you get exciting news, sad news, or you need this. not having that person, and now you know, like, okay, I now need to first take care of myself. You've never done that. Me personally, high school, I didn't really like dates. So it was campus where I actually like dated, like a relationship you can actually look at.
My mom isn't watching this, but I was never single at campus. Really? Sorry, I'd actually live in campus, but in high school. Yeah.
Now I didn't see any of those.
Of course, because they weren't in the school. Yeah, of course. There is no way I was going to date anyone in the same school. But before that, after this relationship, I'm into another one. After that, I'm into another one. That's how my life was, and I hated being single. Now you're happy.
Very
married.
Very happy.
Tell us about that. How is marriage so far?
I would say marriage is very, like, there's some things that I'm learning, and you know how we all think that when you actually get married, everything is just flowers, love, left, right, and center. Like, you think you're happy 24/7, 365 days. No.
If you describe your marriage in one word, what would you say?
In one word, peaceful.
That's exactly what I saw. I was about to tell you. Your relationship is just calm. Just like, you know how you meet people? Because when he came to say hello, like, I could feel that, yes, peaceful is the right word, but there's so much calmness in the relationship. I'm sure you guys don't shout at each other.
No. We have actually never, even every time we have like a disagreement somewhere, maybe I'm not happy with something or he's not happy with something, it's actually a conversation. I can never know that we are arguing, I just know, okay, he has told me I don't like this. How can I change, or how can I at least make it better? Because the last thing you want is the person you're living the rest of your life with to hate you into living in the same house. You have to do life together. You're married. You have to have kids together. You want everything to move smoothly. Obviously, it won't. But I think the key is, how do you handle those times where now you first put your love aside and you're actually now talking like human being to human being, like adult to adult. Like, I don't like this. And it's not like they're judging you when they're telling you these things, but like, they want you to know, and now that is communication.
How long do you think someone should get for the guy to now finally propose?
Me, I normally think 3 years should be minimum.
Yeah.
3 years. Why? In the first year, I'm thinking,
we're getting to know each other.
Oh my God, he's nice. Oh, he buys me flowers. Oh, he does this. All the nice things are in that 1 year.
Yeah.
All of you are working hard. When he says, let's go for a date, the extra effort you put in to look good. By the time we reach in the second year, if you notice, you'll find there's some things you no longer do. But you're still
being yourself.
You're still trying to look nice, be presentable. Now, in the third year, like, you guys are literally as if in marriage now. You're like, I think I can wear this. You're just trying to be decent, but you just want to be yourself. Now, I believe in the third year is when most people are actually now trying to show the real them.
I feel like it's a man's insecurity if they start now being like
controlling how you wear. Yes.
Yeah. So and I don't want to end up with an insecure man. I want a man who is very secure, and every time I look good with him.
Talk about insecurity. I think I've been in that situation where, because if a man is too insecure, it could be one thing, it could be two, it could even be 1,000.
Yeah.
The moment the man is insecure, you were just telling me about this where you said that if you don't love yourself, then it's like you're giving from an empty cup.
Yeah.
You cannot give the proper love you're supposed to give the person. So I feel it's not only for women, even men.
And men are more insecure than women.
Yes. It's but just that they don't show it. Or yes. But like me, just briefly, I don't really like over talking about this. But if I'm to give a glimpse of what that was, it reached a point where I was controlling.
Yeah.
To the extent that, no, that is too short. No, that over, brings out your shape.
Yeah.
No, where are you? Where is this? Where is that? And that's how it starts. It started slowly, like how you're saying, small things. Yeah. Like, no, I think you look better.
And it's the first date. What do you mean? We are now discussing how I'm dressing.
No, that should be a red flag. Me, I believe.
Yeah.
And us as like ladies, we tend to give too much grace to guys.
Yes.
Because we are like, oh, maybe this could actually be the relationship. Let me try to be nice. But you have to know, in the long run, should you come and decide that this is a guy, let me ignore. They say there are things you can actually compromise on.
So for you, yourself, when you were starting to date Mr. Muganga, what deal breakers did you have? Like if he's ABCD, he's definitely not the one.
My deal breakers, how I looked at it, I didn't look at it as if he did this or if he tells me this. No, I looked at it as, what do I want? Because now I already knew what I didn't want and I knew I could see it. Like as for my relationship, and it made me think a lot to the extent that I was like, you know what? The next person that comes into my life, you even show one sign like this, I am out. I'm not entertaining anything. And when the first time we met, very simple, it was very weird. But me, I believe a lot in God. People will say, no, me too. I don't think it was God.
It was. Me, even that bad relationship you're in.
Yes, I think it was for me to like teach me and know what I want. Because when I was dating that person, I didn't really know what I wanted. It's like I was in there, I was just going with the flow. But now I entered in a relationship intentionally. I want this, I want this, I want this.
I don't want
and
this.
When I showed him that this is what I want, never at once did he show me like it's too much. You're asking for too much. Or you're doing too much. Or you want a lot of things. He actually embraced it. He liked, the one thing he said, like, I like how you're very confident. If I'm to put it into deal breakers, would be that someone who drinks a lot. Drinking to the extent that you make decisions, things best because of.
If he doesn't drink, that's even a green, like a green, that's deep, bright green. But we can't be drinking every single day. And also every weekend. Like, can we go a month without drinking? Can we just drink water and juice this weekend? Like, we don't have to have alcohol every
time. Yes. And there are a lot of things that I'd asked God, and I was like, God, I may not know everything I want in a man, but at least I know ABC.
I know he should
Please
be good
put it in him and make sure that when you bring him to me, he's packaged for who you think is going to give me growth, someone who's going to change my mindset, someone who's going to help me heal. I know it's not his responsibility, but I wanted that someone whose character, that when they came into my life, I just healed without even knowing it, and I started feeling like I no longer worry, I no longer think about this.
I think for me, in my previous experiences with dating, he has to have a stronger relationship with God. Like, because men are meant to be leaders, I need him, not every time we are going through something, the first excuse is probably alcohol. I need a man who's going to be like, let's pray about it. Even when I don't feel like reading the Bible, because we will always listen to and that will bring us to submission and all. But because women, we are naturally led. Even when I don't feel like going to church, I need a man who's going to be please, just we have to go to church. So I need a man who's going to have a stronger relationship. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about a relationship where everything, the first thing he thinks about, okay, let's talk to God about it. So for me, it's really like I've met people who I know go to church and the relationship is not there. It's just for people to see me that, oh, I go to Fanero, or I go to worship others. But the relationship is not there. Because having the relationship is more important than you going to church every single Sunday, fasting every other day. But you can't even tell me a verse from the Bible. Yeah, so for me, that's like my deal breaker. And that brings us to submission. Do you think you are a submissive wife?
Very submissive.
Then do you think... What's your thought about submission? Because people have these perceptions of being submissive. You're supposed to kneel. You're supposed to literally carry this man to your head and everything. Baby has said I have to go home.
You have to go.
So what do you understand from submission?
Submission, how I understand it is that I still get to play my role as a wife without feeling being taken as a maid. I don't know if you can get the difference.
Yeah.
There's a
controlled,
difference.
Like a
controlled. You're doing this because
like a dog.
You're doing this because Smanya Maisenga told me. Now you're doing it. You as a person, you're not even happy. You're not even happy. So you're just doing it just for. You're not doing it because you actually want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, submission is I'll take it back a step. When a man loves you the right way, you don't even need to question.
Do you think, for every girl out there watching this, do you think marriage is the ultimate goal in life? Like, if you don't get married, women will reach almost 30, or you're 30 and you're not married, everyone is like, yeah, diva. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you think every woman, that if they hit 35 or 40 and they're not married, they should feel like they've lost, like their lives have ended?
I don't think it's the ultimate goal. I think it's also just another step a woman would have in their life. And if that's something you want, then you should pursue it.
Heavy on wants.
Yes. Yeah. Because people tend to think, I'm now 30. Then sometimes also being too desperate,
you can end in the wrong hands.
Either you end in the wrong hands, or you may even push away potential people. Because every time someone shows some sort of interest, you're like showing too much even before it's the right time. You're sharing too much before even someone is like deserves that kind of information.
Yeah.
So I think that everyone has their own timing. And that's, I think, one thing when people get married, because you feel you're lucky you've gotten married. When someone asks you, hey, how did you do this? Hey, mama. You're not supposed to tell someone, it will come. It will eventually. No. Me, most times I tell people, the one thing I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you do what I did. But at least the one thing I know you have to do is pray.
Now, for me, I do believe in companionship. I do believe in marriage. I do believe that most certainly if you want to have a family, the best way to have a family is after marriage. But I also believe that there are people who don't want that. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. I feel like people who come out and they say, I've seen on TikTok, there are women who come out and say they don't want children. Or because of also childhood trauma, there are people who have had bad experiences with their families and they feel like marriage. Me, I would love to have beautiful babies, and the only way to do that, I need to have a companion. That's how you end up with beautiful children, have a beautiful family. That is why I had to sit with myself and be like, Alexis, know who you are first. Understand what you actually want and set your own boundaries. Because also, one thing you should know, men have boundaries, but we women, I think we have the boundaries.
Everything.
Yeah, like he will call you when you're out with your girls and you're quick to say, my man is calling me, and you leave. But a man will tell you, I'm out with the boys,
and he will not leave. Yes.
So that's the thing, like I had to sit down with myself and create boundaries, and these boundaries are not just for these people around you or for these men that are asking you out, but for yourself as well. No, that if I'm dating a man and we are going on our first date, you don't necessarily have to go for dinner. You could do lunch. You could do something you're comfortable with, not what he's comfortable with. He's calling you home for Netflix and chill on the second date, but you don't want that, but because you don't want to chase him away, you're quick to be like, it's okay, let me come.
You're pleasing the man instead of working on you.
And that brings me to my question of, do you believe in sex before marriage? Because someone asked that question on Instagram.
Well, I think it's about everyone's opinion about it.
Preference?
Yeah, preference, I would say. Yeah. The people who have been brought up in that situation of like, they're staunch in whatever religion they're in. And they feel that, just like how you'd say, when you create a boundary and you say, me, I'm not going to do this for a man. That is you. And it's okay. And if you feel it benefits, when you're making these decisions, don't do them in a way that comes out as selfish. You have to be able to explain why. Don't do it because, I saw Alexis, she was successful in marriage because she didn't have, sex before marriage. No. Like, do whatever you decide, do it for yourself.
Having sex with a man just because you don't want to lose him, that's the worst thing you ever do to yourself. Some women think, okay, once I sleep with him, he will love me more. It doesn't work like that. In fact, it's the other way around. Yeah, so when you decide, make sure if he decides to cut you off and ghost you, you won't feel like, oh my God, and yet I showed him my body, I slept with him. No. So be like, okay, it was for me, it was to satisfy you. So I told myself, I even told God, unless I'm married, I'm not going there. Not anymore. And once you tell God that, He will bring someone who has the same values.
Same mindset, or at least can respect that and let you.
Yes. Because there are men out there. I know so many couples, online and offline, that have only had it after marriage.
Yes.
So what do you want? It shouldn't be based on what we want and what we believe in. It should be based on what you actually want and what do you believe in. What values do you have? If you believe that, okay, me personally, I would never want to sleep with a man unless he's married to me, and a man comes and tells you, if you're not doing it before, then I can't be with you. It's okay.
Do you know how many? It's okay. Let him walk.
Do you know how many ultimatums he's gonna give you before he marries you? He will keep telling you, if you don't do this, I want it. If you don't do this, and then how many yeses are you going to do for him? Meanwhile, he would never sacrifice or compromise anything
if
for
you said yes.
Otherwise, he would have told you, it's okay. Let's work towards getting married.
Yeah.
Tracy, do you believe in true love?
Yeah.
Would you say no, though? Would you say no? She can't say no. So
I actually do believe in true love.
Yeah.
It's there.
It exists.
Yes, it does exist.
And most especially in our generation where people are after, I want a rich man, I want a woman with a perfect body, I want my man to buy me a car, a second date, to take me to Dubai every year, every month. Do you really think true love exists? Of course, for you, it might exist in your life, but do you think it's out there? Do you think in this era of social media and trying to pull off a perfect marriage, a perfect relationship, do you really think there are people that actually truly have true love?
True love is there, I believe it. Not just because, I'm married, I have to say it. But I would say that we tend to rush in most of our relationships. So we don't even get to see who we are getting to date or getting to marry. And then now we blame it that, there is no love, there isn't this, but it's there. If you take your time, like as you had said, if you love yourself, you've grown, and then now you're ready to actually date someone, that means you get to learn the person. You don't rush to, it's been 1 year. Then they propose to you, you also say yes.
But then for some people, they experience true love first sight, and next 2 months, there are people who get married after 3 months, 5 months. Do you really think it's their parents, or they actually truly they are meant for each other?
Well, I'll give my own opinion.
Yeah.
3 months, I believe that already is a red flag for marriage.
Because there's a couple I know, guys. They've been together for over 7 years. You can tell it's a healthy relationship, and the guy proposed after 6 months.
Well, like I said, my own opinion.
From your experience.
Yes, from my experience. Yeah. And I'd say everyone has their own timing.
Yes.
So, I also have some questions for you.
Okay.
How do you handle emotional support? Like, because you said you're single, do you have someone you talk to? Is it a friend? Is it a family? Or do you handle everything on your own? And if so, how?
Guys, married people think we don't have emotional support. Anyway, so actually last time we were having a conversation with my friend of there are times when there are things you can only talk to your man. Yeah, there are those conversations, but I'm sure you also have those conversations that you can only talk to your girlfriends. Yeah, but I believe me personally, I journal a lot and I talk to God a lot, but most importantly, I believe God talks to us through people. I have amazing friends and I have ChatGPT. So yeah, and I'm a very open-minded person. I believe in vulnerability and sharing these things so that they don't weigh you down. Your emotions can actually put you into depression. So I talk about things so much. Even if I have a very bad dream, if I don't call my mom, I'll call a friend. If I don't call a friend, I'll text ChatGPT. If I don't do that, I'll pray about it. And eventually, God, most of the times, if he can't talk to you, he will use people around you. There are men that have everything in the world. They'll give you money. They'll give you the love. I've been there, but they're not there emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, you can't cry on their shoulders. You can't share any, like, they're like, really? Okay. So you were sad because you had a bad dream. So it's also, not everyone has that in their relationships. Do you have it?
I actually do. Like, sometimes even I sit back after, like, I've sorted everything. I'm like, why was I even crying? Honestly?
Yeah.
But, like, at that moment, he's not going to judge you.
Yeah.
He's going to let you have your moment, cry if you need to cry. And once he sees you now settled, he's going to now talk to you about it so that it doesn't happen again. Or at least if there's something you can do, he tries to make it better. Maybe I brought it in a way that I'm thinking people don't. But now that you've brought it, I've actually thought about it, that there are people out there who actually don't have.
Yes, emotional support.
I think I know someone who's like that. And she says when she's home, she has to act like everything is okay. But the only people who she actually says she talks a lot to her parents. And that's where she gets her emotions.
And that's a beautiful thing, because not everyone can rely on their parents. Most especially in this generation where we are in a different era from our parents. Our parents, some of them don't believe in therapy, right? You're not crazy.
Health.
They don't believe in those things. So if you have that kind of relationship where your parents can even suggest therapy, you are very lucky. And it's very important to have certain people that will just support you emotionally. It doesn't have to be your husband, but pray about it, because it should be your husband. Your man should be emotionally there, because you're going to have children with those men.
And a lot happens after you have children.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fear you have when it comes to marriage?
My biggest fear, there are so many, it's not even one. I fear, most especially when it comes to marriage, you're thinking of childbirth. I'm also still a baby. What do you mean I'm going to have babies?
And they'll call you mommy.
No, I don't even want to be called auntie. And now someone is going to call me mommy. Okay, I know there's that part of me that wants that, but also there's that fear of giving birth, having to push. Then my other fear is ending up with the wrong person, because a lot of people put up a show of they are perfect. And then a wedding is one thing, but marriage is another thing. You find out you are married to a man who has 5 children. Later, a serial killer. So like
serial cheater.
I pray I end up with the right person, because I know no one is perfect, but there are some imperfections that...
Yeah, someone shouldn't really go through them.
Yeah, and also my last fear is someone who will have a problem with my career, who I don't want as a content creator. Yeah, but could also, of course, I can't end up with someone like that, because I know for sure. But there's him reaching a level and he's like, 1 year into marriage, he's like, I need to delete all. I know someone whose husband told her to delete her entire existence on social media. So.
And you're already into it.
Now you're asking me to choose my marriage or my career. And I know, like, because I'm a Christian, once you're married, you have to listen to your husband. Like, if your husband tells you you're not going to church, actually in my church they tell us, if your husband tells you don't go to church, you have to listen.
Yeah. They also told me that, like, you don't have to go. Even actually they said, if you feel like going to church, then you tell your husband, let's go to church.
Yeah.
Your husband says, I don't feel like it.
You shouldn't feel like it.
You also shouldn't feel like it.
That's why I told you.
There is a lot you think. But also you have to understand, now they also asked us the same question and they're like, why doesn't he want to go to church? Is it that he has had a very bad week and that's the
There is that.
There is that is
There's
okay.
also him being.
Then there's him saying, you can't even pray from here.
Because I've also been in a situation where these past couple of weeks I've not been there. Like, I watch church on my phone, I'll attend online, but I've not been there like actively going to church. That is why I told you I need a man who is there. Like he'll be like, baby, let's go. I know you don't feel like it, but we are going together. But when you're single and you're alone, your friends don't also feel like it. You're like, they can't even persuade you. So, and also like being realistic as humans, there are Sundays you want to be both there.
Yes. I've had those ones. But it's okay. Every time you guilt trip yourself or tell yourself we are the most critics like of ourselves. So every time you think and you're like, you know what, I didn't go to church, so God does not love me. That's not how it works. He also knows you're just a human being, and there'll be those days that I can't. The thing is, you've not allowed it to affect your relationship with God. So yeah, but that is very good to know. And my advice, would be that me, myself, I'm here. And I know there's going to be a point where I actually have to give birth. But I also still fear it.
Yeah, trust me.
Because a lot happens. People have healthy births. Some people die while giving birth. I think that's a fear for all women. There's no one who goes into it and is like, man, me, I can handle this.
Yeah.
Because it's life or death. But I think at the end of the day, also what contributes to it is if you have a supportive, loving partner, that also contributes a lot to how you're going to give birth. Is it true? Or do you think that when people are single, they are always lonely?
No. As a loner, naturally, I do a lot of things alone. I can travel alone. I can do so many things. I can literally be in the house. I've spent 2 weeks now, even a month. I've spent it in my house alone, ordering in food, cooking. So I've never been there and feel lonely. I've not felt bored. Even when I'm almost feeling, I can have my music, I have my Netflix, and I think it has a good and a bad side. That is why I try so hard now. I understood that about myself, and I tried to over the weekends or once in a while, I don't like taking a week in the house fully without going outside to meet people. But I don't know about other people. For me, I don't really, of course, nature demands, but when you are busy with your life, it's so hard for that to
come in and say, I'm lonely.
Yeah, to be like, oh my God, the moment you've been, we were talking about it with my friend yesterday, and she said, every time I've missed having a man in my life, I've realized what they offer is what I actually miss. Like, maybe I need my rent paid, and I'm like, I wish I had the man to pay. But then if you have the rent to pay, you realize, I didn't need him. And then you realize, okay, it was maybe horn. And then you're like, it was just a phase. I was ovulating, and guess what? I'm now okay. So if you get in that situation, ask yourself why do you actually need him because you need a companion to build a family with, or you're just having these needs right now that if he came and fixed them, you don't need him. And now you're having a relationship for the wrong reasons. We shouldn't be in situations like that because these things can come and go. Yeah. Trust me, money will go. The same way you made it is how he made it. And it can go. Guess what? You're going to leave him because he's broke.
I think everyone would now be single because people have different phases.
Yeah.
There are some men who have lost their jobs. And now because you feel like, he can't afford to give me fuel, he can't afford to do this, he can't. So now you're like, why did I even get married? Yeah. Or why am I even dating this guy?
So I wanted to ask Tracy what she admires about my side, being single or dating. What's the thing you like? Oh my God, this is one thing I miss about your side.
The one thing I miss is having to do anything. And not anything that is bad, but like getting to make your own decisions on your own, decide and say, I'm doing this.
You can decide if you're out there and let me just flip this side.
Just flip that side at your friends. I wanted to go here, but it's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, and you don't communicate.
So you don't have to communicate to anyone. Like, you're accountable for yourself.
Yeah, like, you're selfish.
Do this. And no one is questioning you. I'm not saying it's bad. But I'm just saying there's that sense of
freedom.
Yeah, as if like freedom to do anything. And which is not bad also like when you get married.
Okay, after we leave our parents' houses, I feel like every girl should have that freedom.
Yeah. I got it. It was for a while. Yeah. It was just beautiful. And it brings me to the whole point of, I think every girl needs to stay alone
before marriage.
Because, let me tell you, there is beauty in that whole thing of wake up, go do what you need to do. Yeah. If it's your career, come back. If you don't want to cook, just order in. Or if you don't want to do this, your friend calls you. If you're in the mood, you have the time, you just walk out. If it takes longer than you thought, you don't have to worry. There's that
I can just call you randomly at 10 p.m.
You're like, hey, come on.
Just get a good.
Or say, I'm not feeling okay. Or like, I want someone. You can just call your friend and you're like, yeah. And next 2 minutes, you're at your friend's place. You've slept over. Nothing. And
I think we've already been talked about it. Like, just if I'm with Tracy and we are somewhere, we are stuck. Let me call my husband. Now, me, who am I going to call? I can't even call my father or my mother because I put myself in that situation. But you can just call your man because anytime, and also you have that sense of if anything bad happens, there's this man that is going to do anything for you. So what do you prefer, texting or calls?
I prefer texting, but when it's my husband, calls.
He can call you. So for me, I love both. Of course, I also prefer my man calling me in the morning, good morning, in the night, to check on me, how was my day. Then other people, please text me. Why are you calling me? Like, my man should text me every day, like all day, like, okay, I'm now in office. Okay, this is what I'm having for breakfast. I saw this and I thought of you. Would you rather be single forever or marry the wrong person?
I would rather be single forever.
Me too.
Because
I don't mind it.
I can't be suffering the rest of my years.
Who should say I love you first? Or who should shoot their shot first? The guy or the woman?
I think whoever is ready.
Banang, he has to tell me. If he doesn't, that means he doesn't love me as much as I love him. So, with my part, I'll wait for him to shoot his shot. That's it for our dating, love, relationships, marriage video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this video and if you'd love to see Tracy come back. Yeah, that's it. Bye.